Hi guys, yeah, I'm back again. It's Dazzie's top 20 selling comic books of the week. And today I'm going to be discussing the books from the 17th of May 2019. Basically, since coverprice.com came out on the scene, they have become a go-to spot for watching eBay trends on comics, and they scour thousands of eBay sales to culminate data to spotlight the hottest selling comics. Here's this week's top 20, guys. As usual, I'm sure you'll be lining up to defeat me. Snuzzlepop just owns me on this every week. One of these days I'm going to get him before Christmas. That's my aim. Let's see what I've got anyway. Starting in at number 20 on our list, guys, is a book that I don't own. So I'm already 0 for 1. And the book in question is A-Force, issue number 1. A-Force, issue number 1. Of course, getting hot because of Avengers Endgame. 21 copies have sold this past week, with a 7-day trend of plus 95%. Now, a Raw at its highest has sold for $14.99. It's a book that's slowly getting up there, guys. I have yet to find one. I'm on the lookout. Number 19 on our list is a bit of a store of late, and I do own it. It is Nova issue number 1. On a recent poll, most people are suspecting that he is going to be the next big breakout character in the MCU. But 25 copies of this book have sold of late. Why? It's the first appearance and origin, of course, of Nova, who is Richard Rider. A whole host of first appearances in this book. It's a great read. We have the first appearance of the Centurion Nova Prime, who is Roman Day. He was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's also the first appearance of Bernie Dillon, Caps, Charles Ryder, Donnelly Dover, Ginger J, Gloria Ryder, Mike Burley, Robbie Ryder, Czar, and the first appearance of the Xandarians, who are an alien race that could well appear in a Nova movie at some point. So 25 copies have sold this week with a 7-day trend of plus 100%. And 9.8 of this book just recently sold for $1,000. Insane stuff, $1,000. That shows you that everyone is specking big time on Nova. I paid £20 for this back in 2017. Mine's pretty nice. It's a pence copy, yeah, but it could be a very fine copy. So you're just showing $1,000 for a 9.8. Wow, that is a big increase, guys. I passed on a second copy recently for 35, and I'm kind of regretting that now. I certainly think with the MCU going cosmic, it's just a matter of time for Nova. Up next is a rare incentive on our list. We don't usually get too many incentives, but in at number 18 this week, we have War of the Realms, the New Agents of Atlas, issue number 1, which had a whole host of first appearances. This is the 1 in 50 Bircher variant cover. The 1 in 50 Bircher. Zurcher. Patrick Zurcher, not Bircher. It's Patrick Zurcher. 25 copies of that book have sold just lately, with a 7-day trend of plus 106%, and a 9.8 crazily is already out there. CGC 9.8 sold for $335 of a book that's barely a week old. Crazy, crazy stuff. Marvel are pushing that book big time. 8 new Agents of Atlas. I think there's a new character called Wave. Is a talk of the forums at the moment. Number 17 on our list is a book we haven't really seen, I don't think, on this top 20 before now. And it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. We're talking Image Comics Spawn, issue number 9. Yeah, this is the first appearance of Angela, who of course is now a Marvel character called Aldrich Ostenstotter. Wow, that's a mouthful. And that she then appears in Age of Ultron issue, book number 10 in the Marvel Universe. I read that one recently. This book is also the first appearance of Cogliostro, who was in the Spawn movie. And the first appearance of the medieval Spawn, Sir John of York. First meets of Gabriel. And there's a poster in here from Jim Lee. Yeah. Well, 24 copies have sold this past week. The 7-day trend of plus 121%. A high sale for 9.8 CGC went for $120. So I would think this book was still pretty mass produced. I know Spawn #1, there were hundreds of thousands of copies of that, wasn't there? But that book is slowly getting up there. Of course, we're getting a Spawn movie, but I don't expect to see Angela. I think Angela's a little bit hot at the moment because of, is it the Guardians of the Galaxy series? Could be along those lines. Who knows? Might see her on screen at some point. Number 16 on our list. Do I have it? I don't. I must get this one at some point. We are talking Infinity Gauntlet, issue #1. Of course, quite a hot book at the moment due to Endgame and good old Thanos. Well, 26 copies have sold this past week with a 7-day trend of plus 114%, and a CGC 9.8 recently sold for a high of $200. That's Infinity Gauntlet #1. Number 15 on our list. Do I have it? I do, and I have 2 copies. We're talking Eternals #1. Yeah, this is in production from Marvel right now. Kevin Feige has announced it. This is the first appearance and the origin of the Eternals team. It's got the first appearance of Icarus, who is the main player, I believe, who's going to be opposite Angelina Jolie's Cersei by all accounts. And I think he's going to be played by one of the Game of Thrones actors. It's also the first appearance of Brother Toad, Margot Damian, the Deviants team, Cataphracts, Dr. Damien, Vira, and this is also the first mention of the Celestials. Now, if you're talking Eternals, it's just a matter of time before we're getting some Celestial information as well, because they're bound to show. And of course, these Celestials show up in Eternals #2, which I have as well. 35 copies have sold this past week. The 7-day trend of plus 94% and a 9.6 CGC recently sold for $449, which is crazy. Paid £14.95 for this copy, and I think I paid about $12 for this copy. This is the better of my 2 copies. This one has a little bit of a tape pull up here. Yeah, just by, it's barely nothing. So I'm certainly holding 1 copy, and I'll probably sell one on closer to the movie time. But yeah, what was just a $1 book is now really blowing up big time. Number 14 on our list. It's a good read, but it's baffling me, these prices. Naomi issue #1. Yeah, still going pretty strong. This is the first appearance of the character on the front, Naomi. It's the premiere issue of an ongoing series by Brian Michael Bendis, introducing Naomi, a seemingly normal girl who has a connection to the DC multiverse. This is part of the Wonder Comics imprint, led of course by Brian Michael Bendis, directed towards younger readers, and this is the regular Jamal Campbell cover. 34 copies have sold this past week, with a 7-day trend of plus 104%, and again a 9.6 CGC recently sold for $400. It's baffling. Yeah, it's a good read. It's a solid read, but Bendis is all about the dialogue. There's not a lot of action, and there's new characters coming out all the time. So why this one's grabbing everyone's attention, I'm not really sure. I mean, when I've just said you can get a 9.6 Eternals one for $449, or a 9.6 Naomi for $400, I would certainly lean towards the Eternals personally. But, you know, fair play to Bendis, Naomi is going well. Number 13 on our list. Do I have it? I do. And why, I don't really know. With artwork like that, it's not really grabbing me. But that's Rob Liefeld for you guys. Yeah, this is Major X issue #1. And this is the first full appearance of Major X, who was Alexander Nathaniel Summers. It's also the first appearance of Dreadpool. Yeah, Liefeld's really uh, pulling us through it. And what's going on? I think it's issue 3 that's got a Wolverine on the front cover, and the face of Wolverine is a shocker. Shocker. Um, 38 copies have sold of this book of late. 7-day trend of plus 95%. A high sale 9.8 has already sold for $150. Wow, really? This isn't even his first appearance, is it? His first cameo appearance was in Spider-Man Deadpool issue 47. But, he's got a market. I thought it's announced he's not going to be signing the Spider-Man Deadpool book. And he seems very arrogant and very up himself. I've seen documentaries on the guy, and he's very full of himself. But and people I have spoke to that have met him said he's not a very nice guy. So, but like I say, bad press is better than no press, I suppose, and it certainly worked because those books are flying. Number 12 on our list. Do I have number 12? No, I don't. And the book in question, I did a hot comic book alert special on the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. Yeah. The book I am talking about, guys, is Incredible Hulk, issue 234. Yeah. This is the first appearance of Quasar. Quasar, it's a nice Bronze Age book. And Quasar is rumoured to be appearing in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. Yeah. Well, the 7-day trend now is plus 169%. And a high sale in Near Mint Plus, a raw high graded book, went for $121.75. See, I would rather pay that for a book like that than a Naomi, personally. But yeah, crazy stuff. $121 for a book that was probably a $5 or $10 book up to a week or so ago. That's what we love about the spec game, isn't it? Number 11 on our list, and our first runner-up this time, guys, is the regular cover to War of the Realms, Agents of Atlas. I've told you about this book, guys. Don't sleep on this book. A whole host of first appearances, including a character called Wave. And 61 copies of that book, that regular cover, have just sold this past week with a 7-day trend of plus 71%. And a raw has sold recently for as high as $11. So you're more than doubling your money for a book that's just a regular cover and a week old. Number 10 on our list. We're into the big 10 now, guys. Let's crank it up a bit. And number 10 on our list is a book that I do not own. We're talking Avengers, issue number 12. This is the first time we see Iron Man wield the Infinity Gauntlet. Getting quite hot because of a movie at the moment. Yeah. The 7-day trend on that Avengers number 12 is plus 86%. 53 copies of that book have sold this past week. And the average raw sale now, crazy stuff, $47.75. No graded books out there at the moment, but I am still on the lookout. I'm hoping to get lucky at an upcoming con. Number 9 on our list is another book that I did a hot comic book alert on. And this is one on my Doctor Strange. I made a hot comic book alert on Doctor Strange 2, the upcoming movie, because this character is going to be in it. And the book in question is Strange Tales, issue 169. This is the first appearance of Brother Voodoo. Yeah, Brother Voodoo is touted to be joining Doctor Strange 2. That's a great cover. It's always been one of my favourite covers, I think. Strange Tales, issue 169. The 7-day trend on that book, plus 148%. 31 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale, $217 in that time period. A 9.0 CGC went for $298. That's the first appearance of Brother Voodoo. I know my friend Probe 186 across the pond has recently picked one of those up. Fantastic book. Up next, we have another War of the Realms Agents of Atlas. And I think this is the 1 in 25 park variant. This is our number 8 on our list, guys. 3 Agents of Atlas books in our top 20 so far. The 7-day trend on that book, plus 99%. 49 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $61.47. Wow. And the CGC 9.8 has just sold for $150. It's a book with a lot of first appearances, guys. Number 7 on our list. This is a bit of a stalwart now as well. Incredible Hulk, issue 377. Of course, the first appearance of Professor Hulk. Of course, due to Endgame, I can say that now because I'm pretty sure everybody knows about this. Appears in Endgame. And I don't know, what was your take on it, guys? I liked it. I liked Professor Hulk, but I didn't want to see Professor Hulk all the way through. I wanted to get some rage going. I wanted a smackdown with Thanos. So, Incredible Hulk, 377, the 7-day trend, plus 87%. 63 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale now is $16.77. I paid £3 for this copy in March of 2018, just after my birthday. And average graded books now is $78.57 for this book now. Crazy stuff. And of course there are 3 printings to this book. I don't have the third one, which is the most valuable, but I do have the second printing, which I quite like. I think the third printing is the ugliest of the 3. Paid £10 for the second printing. Be nice to complete the set one day. Up next, number 6 on our list, and more Endgame, as we see Sam Wilson as Captain America for the first time. And this is Captain America issue 25. Captain America issue 25 with a 7-day trend of plus 90%. 68 copies of that book have sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $14.06. I have been looking, I can't find one yet. And the average 9.8 has just gone around about $115. Captain America issue 25. Again, Sam Wilson, Captain America. I like Sam Wilson as Falcon, but he ain't no Captain America for me. So this is going to be strange going forwards, because I've read somewhere where there is going to be another Captain America in the Falcon and Captain America, Winter Soldier, TV series. And Sam Wilson takes down this Captain America and then dons the mantle of Captain America. So we'll see. Up next is a book that is a fantastic read and caught a lot of us by surprise. It has a first appearance. It pulls on the heartstrings. Real heartwarming story of a child who goes by the name of Spiderman. We're talking Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, introducing Spider-Bite, issue number 6. Great book, guys. Trust me, you won't be sorry if you read this book. Basically, it's about a child who names himself Spider-Bite, and Spider-Man visits him in hospital, and then we find out the child is all imaginary and the child has cancer. But he dreams of being one of Spider-Man's sidekicks. It is a real great story, guys. Don't sleep on that book. The 7-day trend, plus 130%. 51 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $8.99. Word's getting out. This book is slowly creeping, guys. It won a lot of interest to start with, but now you're getting close to the $10 range. This could be a long-term hold, because I don't think we've seen the end of Spider-Bite just yet. I like the character. I'd like to see him around. This is a nice one. I thought this might do well later on down the line when I picked it up. We're talking number 4 on our list, Champions issue number 22. This is the recent Champions series. And this is the first appearance of Brawn. This was Amadeus Cho, who was the Hulk, wasn't he? Well, he's changed his name to Brawn in this issue. And in this issue, we also get Ironheart's new armor. And Sam Alexander quits as being Nova, I believe, as well. Yeah. I picked up the first appearance of Sam Alexander as Nova recently. So, what can I tell you about this book? Plus 340% on the 7-day trend. That's a lot. 20 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $10.21. I've got a feeling we're going to see Amadeus Cho in some form or another down the line. Don't sleep on that book. I think his first appearance is an Amazing Fantasy issue 15, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, the more recent series, not the Spider-Man first appearance. Number 3 on our list, talking about Spider-Man, is this one. I might have to grab this one. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 7. Issue number 7. And the reason this is getting hot is the first appearance of Spider-Man UK. Yeah, coming from the UK. I'm going to have to get this book from Earth 833. Well, the 7-day trend on this book is plus 226. 46 copies have sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $12.78. Yeah. I'm reading this, a 9.8 sold for $20.90. Quite possible. But yeah. So you're going from your average raw 12 to a 9.8 selling at 20. Wow. Good luck on the person who got that one. Stunning. Number 2 on our list. This is a sleeper. It is a book that caught a lot of us by surprise. We knew something was coming in this issue, and I'll say no more than show you and talk about this because there's going to be spoilers. This is Walking Dead issue 191. Yeah, this is an issue I have read. I'm not the biggest Walking Dead fan, but in this issue, Rick Grimes, the main character, gets shot, and by all accounts, I've seen it on about 2 or 3 sources now, Rick Grimes is going to die in the next issue, which is an oversized issue, like a thick set book, almost prestige format, I would guess. Issue 192 is going to have Rick Grimes dying. Now, Kirkman has come out and said when Rick Grimes goes, Walking Dead will wrap up fairly soon after that. So don't sleep on 192, and I hope you haven't slept on 191. The 7-day trend on this book, plus 113%. Weekly units sold, 119. The average raw sale now, $7.46. They're going now, like I said, I've seen them as high as 12 or 13 pounds here in the UK. So we move on to number 1. And this is a strange one, because this was spec that went wrong. Yeah, spec that went wrong. And it came originally from my good friend across the pond, Jim's Comics. And he made a video on this book, and everybody, because Jim's got a great fan base, and rightly so, went out and bought this book in their droves. And I think Key Collectors Up was also promoting this book, but it's not the case. Well, this book is War of the Gods, issue 1. Now, I have this book, but it's at my mum's house, about 20 miles away. So I'm taking a point for this, Snizzle Pop. Taking a point. This is War of the Gods, issue number 1. From DC Comics. Now, the reason this was getting hot, this was rumoured to be the first appearance of Cirque, who is rumoured to appear in the next Wonder Woman movie. But it's not her first appearance. So, what can we say about it? Well, let me just tell you Cirque's first appearance. For Cirque's first appearance in comics is in Wonder Woman issue 1 from Wonder Woman Volume 1, issue 37 from 1949. So you're a little bit out there, Jim, I'm afraid, mate. But in the modern times, she first appears in Wonder Woman issue 18 in July of 1988. So take it as you want, but War of the Gods has blown up, and the 7-day trend on War of the Gods is plus 376%. 53 copies have sold this past week. And the average raw sale now is $11.88. The average rate graded 9.8 sold in the region of $89.49. Now, to Jim's credit, he came out and quickly held his hands up and said, listen guys, I've made a mistake here. I'm man enough to admit it. Jim's got probably the best channel in the community. I really get on with this guy, he's a great guy. But people have listened and they've gone out and bought it. It's not correct. But I don't think people are going to be buying Wonder Woman issue 37 from 1949. That's it, that's a wrap, guys. So what did I have? I'm counting War of the Gods as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beat that, Snizzle Pop. And of course, I may have some of them I've not revealed yet because I'm holding them back for my next haul. 8 to beat, Snizzle Pop. Guys, hope you enjoyed the show. That's Dazzie over and out. Bye for now.